Hey Jarvis, how you doing today? Do you mind if I call you Jarvis?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And I don't mind at all. Jarvis has a nice ring to it.
Today I'm going to build out my own personal Jarvis. Last time we took a look at webhooks and make.com, just tied a few simple nodes together as we work our way towards unlocking the full potential of our automations. Today we're going to start with a custom GPT. I'm going to call this one Jarvis. I'm going to keep this really straightforward. Aaron's personal voice assistant. And we'll start our instructions with, you are Aaron's personal Jarvis. Your goal is to help with tasks that would be assigned to a personal assistant. You have access to custom actions that will help you with these tasks. So today we're going to implement one of those custom actions, and this action is going to be called Create Task. In order to create a custom action, we're going to come down here to this Create New Action button. Now this is a super powerful part of custom GPTs. Custom actions are going to allow us to talk to our make.com workflow using the webhook that we defined earlier. We're not going to worry about authentication for now. The important thing we need right now is our schema. To set up our schema, I'm going to pop open a new ChatGPT and I'm going to say, help me set up a schema for a custom action for my custom GPT. The action will be named Create Task. The properties of the custom action are task name, category, and due date. Now ChatGPT is going to spit out a schema for our custom action. We're just going to copy that code, jump back over to our custom GPT. I'm going to paste the schema in here. I'm just going to tell ChatGPT we got this error, and now it's updated our schema for us. Jump back over to our action, paste that in. Now we need to update our URL because this is the part of our custom action that needs to talk to our make.com webhook. Let's set that up now. I'm going to set up a brand new webhook. I'm going to call this Jarvis Create Task webhook, copy the address to the clipboard, and paste that in here. Now if I look down below, I can see that there's this test available action button right here. I'm going to click that right now. It's going to tell me over in the preview window, Jarvis wants to talk to this endpoint. Confirm or deny. I'm going to click on confirm. Now under make.com, we can see that that has been successfully determined. We're going to click OK. Now the next step in our process, we need to do something interesting. Now I use Notion quite a bit, so what I want to do here is I want to create an item in my database that represents the task. I'm going to create a connection. Setting up with Notion is going to require an internal integration token, so I'll go do that now. So I get logged into my profile. I'm going to click on Integrations, create a new integration, pick my workspace. I want this to be internal. Not worried about a logo for now. Integration is going to be Jarvis. It's going to give me this internal integration secret. I'm going to grab that right now. Go back over in make.com. I'll drop my secret in there and click on Save. I have my task list set up. I've just got a simple database here with a few columns to do, doing, and done. But in order to get this connected to make.com, I need to go into the actual database. And then from here, I can click on Connect to Make. It's going to ask me to confirm that. That'll bring me over to make.com. I want to click on Learn More, Get Started. Now this brings me back to Make. If I look under my connections, I can see now my Notion internal connection is in the list. Now the next thing that we're going to need is our database ID. Sometimes these are the tricky bits of getting some of these integrations connected. But to get our database ID, I'm not going to use the desktop application. I'm going to go to the Notion site and log in. When I navigate to my database, I'm going to click in the URL. There's two long numbers in here, two long identifiers. After Notion, there's one right after notion.so, and then there's a second one after the question mark. It's the first one that I want. I want to grab that ID, just going to copy that. Back over to make.com. I'm going to click in the database ID and paste that in here and click on OK. When it connects, it's going to pull the field that it wants. It's identified that I have name, status, and due date. Right here under name, I'm going to click on task name. Status, I'm going to set this to do. Now I'm going to send it webhook response. Status 200 is OK. We'll leave it at that. Made it this far, so I'm going to save my integration. I'm going to rename it Jarvis Create Task Handler. Save. Now I'm going to turn on that webhook. Scenario running immediately. My webhook is now listening. Back over in ChatGPT, we're going to test this out. I'm going to go back and click on Test. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do this? Confirm. It's added a task, review budget proposal. Under the category work, we don't have our category set up. That's okay. And if I refresh my task list, I can see review budget proposal right there. So that's cool. Let's take this one step further. I'm going to go back over to my custom GPT. I'm going to click on Create. This one's only for me for now. Save. Now back over in ChatGPT, we're going to want to do a couple of things here before we try this out. Just going to click up here by the name and click on Privacy Settings. And I want to take and move this to Always Allow. It's going to say Ask by default, which is going to ask us every single time if we want to use this action. We're going to set that to Always Allow. Close that up. Now let's test out our action. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've enjoyed using voice mode the last little bit. So we're going to flip on voice mode in ChatGPT and test this out. Hey, Jarvis, how you doing today? Do you mind if I call you Jarvis?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. and I don't mind at all. Jarvis has a nice ring to it.
Can you create a task for me? Make supper.
Got it. Task created, make supper. Let me know if you'd like to add any details or a specific time for it.
No, that's it. Thanks a lot. With our voice chat in, we'll jump back over to Notion and have a look. And there it is right there. Make supper. Nicely on my task list. I can think of about 1,000 different ways to make this more useful. All of a sudden, I have a chat assistant that I can talk to and it can perform actions for me while I'm on speakerphone, washing the dishes, wandering around the house or in the yard. Hope you found that useful. In the next video, we're going to look at adding multiple variables or capturing multiple variables within a workflow for things like writing blog posts or social media content. I hope you stick around for it. See you next time.